Hello friends, today we are going to talk about visual stimming in autistic children and should we actually stop it or not. Visual stimming is commonly observed as the child taking sideways glance like this and intermittently looking at you, or they are continuously spinning items like looking at the wheels of a car spinning, looking at vehicles on the road that have spinning wheels, turning tops or even utensils in the house. They're continuously switching the lights on and off, water faucets on and off, aligning toy cars or toy animals in a line, flapping their hands, wiggling their fingers, or simply shaking hands in front of them. Why do they exactly resort to these behaviors? Because it is a way for them to focus and keep themselves calm. Eye contact is not a natural element in autistic people. Why? Because for us as neurotypicals to look at someone, understand the nonverbal part of their communication, look at their gestures, helps us to understand their conversation better. But in their case, they might not want to do that. For them, intermittently looking at the person is enough for the focus because looking at a person continuously might appear like somebody is invading their personal space. They're not comfortable with someone looking at them continuously or looking into the eyes of someone continuously. So even if they are looking sideways, they are still focusing on you. Their focus is not dependent on eye contact. Visual stimming is a means of coping for autistic individuals. How? In an unfamiliar environment, different people they're unfamiliar with, their sounds, maybe some people are trying to ask them questions, the smell of food, the sounds that are present in the environment may be overwhelming for them, and stimming helps them to calm down. Similarly, their arousal level could be low, and in order to maintain it, to be able to keep up with the instructions given or with the activity demands, they need the stimming for focus. Also, general sensory overload from the environment, like the light coming through the window, people coming and leaving the room repeatedly, the extent of information that is given on a page if you're doing a tabletop activity, or the challenge of the activity, there are 20 steps, they think it is overwhelming. So even if the activity is too demanding for them, too challenging, they think that the activity is boring or they are not interested in them, stimming is likely to happen. It could be a way of expression of basic needs. So for example, some parents might say, our child stands in a corner and starts flapping his hands and we know there is a toileting need. So they are trying to communicate with you. Similarly, the child is hungry, so the stimming tends to increase, or the child is in some kind of pain or discomfort, or did not have enough sleep, or is feeling sleepy. All of these basic needs could be a reason for their visual stimming, and it's better that we identify these cues and attend to them. Transitions can be hard for autistic people. For example, the child is used to staying at home and they are supposed to attend school from now on. Or the school is changed from the previous one to the next one. The classroom has changed in the school, or the teacher has changed. That is also a big transition for them. Or the family is taking a vacation. They went to an unfamiliar setting which made them uncomfortable. They somehow learned to adjust to it and then they came back to their original setting. This transition could not be as smooth for them as is for us and may lead to a temporary increase in visual stimming, and then it goes down eventually when they get more adapted to staying in that environment. Try to introduce visually stimulating activities. If you want to work on your child's gross motor skills, for example, he is not hitting the bat with a ball, what do? Try to use a light based bat or like this, a sword. So what happens because of the light, the child gets more interested because it provides the necessary visual movement. The lights interest the child enough in the activity that they would want to participate. Try to make a fun communication game with the child. For example, using a telephone that provides both light and sound-based stimuli. Hello. Providing sensory toys, even homemade sensory toys for the child benefits them. For example, taking water in a glass that has a cap available, adding coins in it. So the coins dropping inside the water are also interesting for them. After that, it can be closed and then let them turn it upside down to observe the movement of the coins. Similarly, heavy objects like marbles can be introduced, which will just drop down. So they can observe a difference in how different elements interact with water. If you close it, then they will observe that the marbles drop down immediately, but the coins take some time to settle down. Using a multisensory approach with these children really benefits. Most of the parents would say, our child does not want to write with a pencil in a notebook. What should we do instead? So you can try to use a board with a marker, which is easier to erase. Similarly, using a board and a chalk, colorful chalks can be used, colorful pens can be used on a paper, on a board, so that it becomes more visually stimulating for the child. Similarly, try to use tactile based elements with the child, which are also color based. For example, use of slime, use of Play-Doh, use of different kinetic sands, different colored kinetic sands, or even using water mixed with paint so that the child can write with those paints on a chart paper. And the third most important element is use of visual cues with the child. It does not mean use of visual cards. Instead, if you want the child to pursue an activity, rather than continuously instructing them, try to take one step at a time. Demonstrate to them that step so that they can copy it. Take one step. For example, if you only want them to join a red and a blue block, only show them that step rather than making the entire tower and expecting them to copy it in exactly the same way with the same colors. Copying tasks can be given to the child, so it could be in terms of drawing something, painting something. For example, if you want your child to make a house, rather than showing them the picture of a house, you can show them, let's first make a triangle. Let's make a rectangle below it. Let's make a door. Let's make a window. Let's make a chimney. And that is your house. So in this way, the child gets step-by-step instructions. It is easier for them to follow it and gives them time for processing. Let me know if this video was informative for you by liking the video, adding any queries, suggestions in the comments below, subscribing to the channel for more videos related to child development, ring the bell icon for notifications when my videos are out, and we'll meet again soon. Bye.